Hello, friends. My name is Ismail Shakhtakhtinsky, and I'm the principal immigration attorney at IS Law Firm. Recently, the results of the DV Diversity Visa Lottery, Green Card Lottery, came out, and we've been contacted by a lot of winners. If you're one of the winners, congratulations. If not, then apply again for the next year. There is a really good chance to win in the diversity visa lottery. So the question that comes up after you win the diversity visa lottery is what you should do, what kind of documents you need to prepare. The first thing you need to do once you're selected for the diversity visa lottery is to look at the number on the selection notice. It's usually between 1 to 55,000 or close to 100,000. There are many numbers. There is no specific number limitation on those numbers. But that number, the selection number, tells you when approximately you will be called for an interview. Now, if you're in the United States, then you can apply for adjustment of status based on that number. But I will make a separate video about those winners who are inside the United States. So in the next video, please follow. The next video will be about the adjustment of status for someone who is in the US already and they got selected for the diversity visa lottery. But this video is dedicated to those who are outside of the US who are selected for the diversity visa lottery 2024. The reason why it's called DV 2024 is because the time to apply and the time for your interview will be in 2024, in the fiscal year of 2024, which in the US federal government starts in October. So the interviews, the first interviews and reviews of the applications for this year's winners will be started from October 1st of 2023 calendar year, which is the first day of the fiscal year of the US federal government. So once you look at this number, you can go to the State Department website to look up the visa bulletin. We will post a comment below where you can see that link. And you can scroll through to find the diversity visa priority numbers. And if your number is higher than the number posted there, then you can apply. But then most likely you will be called for an interview. Now, scratch, you can apply part. So what you should do is you should file, the next thing you should do is you should file the DS260. It's an online form that is filed with the Department of State. If you Google DS260, you will get to that website. The DS260 is the formal immigrant visa application. So because you were selected for the green card through diversity visa lottery, now you have a right to apply for the immigrant visa. Now, that doesn't guarantee that you will receive your immigrant visa, aka green card. It guarantees that you can apply for it, and the State Department will most likely schedule an interview. The reason why I say most likely is because the State Department has neglected many of the winners in the past 2-3 years. For this year, it's been okay. They've been scheduling interviews and granting immigrant visas. But in 2021 and 2022, lots of DV winners did not get a chance to be interviewed and did not get a chance to relocate to the United States because the State Department was backlogged and they deprioritized the diversity visa lottery cases after the pandemic. And that's why many of the winners didn't end up receiving their immigrant visas, unfortunately. There has been litigation related to this. There have been lawsuits filed. Hopefully, it's not going to be needed this year or the next year. You know, if you're selected for 2024, hopefully that's not going to affect as the pandemic is officially now over. So you need to file the DS260 form for yourself and for all your family members, immediate family members. That includes children under 21 and your spouse, your wife or husband. Now, you must have included their information in the electronic application, which you filed back then when you applied for that diversity visa lottery. So as long as you included your family members, then you can include them here and they can file the DS260s and they will receive their immigrant visas and permanent residency together with you. One of the important things to pay attention to is that you will need to gather civil documents. What it means is that, you know, the NVC, the Kentucky Consular Center, which is part of the State Department, will send you an email at one point where they will ask for the documents that you need to provide them so that they can schedule an interview. They will send those documents to the US consulate, and the US consulate will schedule your interview. Now, among those documents are civil documents such as your birth certificate, marriage certificate, your, if you're a widow, then your spouse's death certificate, your children's birth certificates, and there is a police clearance certificate, which is the State Department has in their website official bulletin posted for each country where they indicate which document specifically and how you can get it from either Ministry of Internal Affairs or the police department where you have lived. Now, sometimes people live in different countries for quite some time. In that case, you will need a police clearance certificate from each of those countries where you lived for more than 6 months after you turned 16 years old. So if you, after 16 years of age, if you lived anywhere else in any other country for 6 months or more, you will need the police clearance certificate from that country, confirming that you don't have any criminal records. And that takes time. Sometimes people don't know where to get it or how to get it. And by the time they get that email from the KCC, from the State Department asking for those documents, it may be taking too long, and you may run the deadline. So the deadline by which the consulate can issue a visa to diversity winners is going to be September 30th of next year, of 2024. So if your number, the selection number, which usually starts with 2024 EU or AF for Africa, then and then it comes your number. That number, if it's too high, then you have less chances, or your interview is going to be much later in time, closer to the deadline. If you have a lower number, let's say below 10,000 or below 20,000, that's pretty good. Then you're most likely looking at the previous year's visibility, and you can see how soon approximately you will be called for an interview at the US consulate. So it's the best idea to start ahead, to start planning beforehand. There are some countries where people don't have birth certificates. Then what can you get to substitute that? The worst thing can happen is you can be scheduled for an interview and then go there and you don't have all the documents needed. Then you're denied the immigrant visa. You spent all your time and hopes and planning that you'll be moving to the US and you didn't get it. So it's a life-changing event. Plan ahead. Make sure that you work with a professional licensed immigration attorney in the United States. If you do decide you want to have a professional help to make sure you don't make any mistakes or miss anything, then work with a licensed immigration attorney or immigration law firm in the United States. Now, do not work with an unlicensed individuals who are not attorneys. It's just like going through medical surgery done by someone who is not a doctor, who has no medical license. There are many companies and organizations abroad in the countries of the diversity visa winners that are offering help. I'm not necessarily saying that they do a bad job, but still, there is no responsibility, there is no liability, they're not officially authorized representatives, and they may not know about the developments in the US immigration laws, the changes, they're not up to date. And again, they're not licensed attorneys, immigration lawyers who are authorized to help individuals with processing their immigrant visa applications or gathering civil documents. So it's very important to find the right professional. We are one of those. We are a law firm, and I've been doing this for 16 plus years. I'm a doctor of jurisprudence in the United States and licensed immigration attorney and member of American Immigration Lawyers Association. You can contact our firm. In the links below, you will have the contact information, how to click and schedule a consultation directly in my calendar. And you can contact us to also ask any questions you have, and we'll be happy to help. Again, plan ahead. Congratulations again. Make sure you have everything in order beforehand so that you don't run the deadline and miss the deadline and to make sure you and your family successfully get your permanent residencies in the US based on the diversity visa selection. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please hit like and please subscribe to our channel for more videos with important information on how to apply for the visas or immigrant visa into the United States. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.